Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stop Being Sold, a community of informed consumers who are sick and tired of being sold financial products they don't understand or need. So if you're tired of being a transaction, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss another video from us. And if you like the content of this video, hit that like button. How are you today, Brian?
Doing great, Michelle. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you. So today we're going to discuss the headlines. We've got tensions around the world. Which is, I guess, a nice way of putting that. And
nice on that.
Right. So we've got tensions around the world, and we've seen both gold and other commodities like just rise exponentially. Right. And so today I just wanted to just pick your brain and to discuss, the headlines around this. How it affects investments, how it affects the market. And, there are probably a lot of people going, well, gee, should I jump into, like, we've seen wheat, gold, you name it, nickel.
Right.
I mean, it just right? Natural gas. So I'm going to turn it over to you and let's just chat. Let's start with gold. That seems to be the big one of the many headliners today.
It is, Michelle. And, as of this video, gold's hit new highs for the year. And currently, year to date, Michelle, it's up over 12% year to date. It's outperforming all the markets like the Dow, the NASDAQ, every one of them. But can it hit new all-time highs this year? Many analysts, Michelle, think that it can. So,
and Brian, this is something you see. I mean, gold historically has acted as a hedge against inflation, right?
Right, so, it has. But in the last, and until the last few weeks, Michelle, I don't think it was almost like it was disconnected from the inflation, because inflation's been here for a while. We've talked about it many times, right? But now it's hit an exponential. And I think, Michelle, it's not only the inflation hedge, it's rising due to the geopolitical circumstances that we've got going on. It's a more safety hedge. So.
All right. So I know we're not giving investment advice, but I'd want to know if someone calls you, I mean, you've been in the business for 24 years as a financial advisor. What do you say to people who everybody's now on the gold train and wants to go out and get gold at this moment?
Go back to what one of my mentors always told me, and that was, when everyone's trying to buy, be the nice person and sell them some of yours.
Sure.
When everyone's selling, be the nice person to step in and buy some of theirs. So can it go higher from here? Yes. Everything right now, what we're watching in the markets on a daily basis, it's headline driven.
Sure. Okay. It's reactionary for sure.
Reactionary after the fact, right? So do we buy today? Me, in my personal investments? No, I'm not buying today. Would I wait for a better entry point? Yes. And that entry point may not come. We may stay at this level and go higher for the rest of the year. It's just too uncertain for me to step in at this time.
Got it. Well, you said, I don't remember what video it was, maybe Warren Your Investments, which we did, or something recent. It's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Step away, think about it. None of this is going away.
Buy low, sell high.
There you go.
Not buy high and get stuck and have to sell low.
All right. So
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to ask, is there anything else about gold? Because I would like to move to commodities.
No, that's pretty much. Just be careful. If you're stepping in a little bit at a time. Don't stick all your money into it at once. So, all
right. So let's talk about oil. Let's start with the oil, natural gas, and gasoline type commodity. Let's start with that.
Yeah, let's stay with them three, because massive increases, right? And you're seeing it in multiple ways right now. Okay. And there's many ways that these commodities can continue to rise in 2022. Okay. Number one is Russia, Ukraine, for many reasons.
Yes, right.
You've got supply disruptions. You got shortages to increase demand. And look, as this continues, what we're seeing leading up to today, Michelle, was the fear of the U.S. banning Russian oil. Okay,
Sure.
that has driven these prices higher.
Way higher.
And as of this morning, they were still hitting there until President Biden spoke and put the bans today on all imports of Russian oil, gas, and energy. So the problem with this move, Michelle, in my sense, and me looking at it from the outsider, is we did this by ourselves.
Right. Yeah. Nobody in the
Yeah.
EU moved with us.
You didn't do it.
Yeah.
And okay, so how much is it going to hurt them? You know, is just a political stance of saying, yes, we're going to stop this. Look, the people in the United States says, yes, I'm willing to give up a little more for gasoline on a daily basis to get Russia to stop what they're doing in Ukraine. So
exactly. And I would also argue Europe is sitting right there. And
right. And they need it more.
They're in the backyard and they need it, right? They rely too much.
They rely on it more than what we do. So,
Sure.
and that's a huge difference. And that's why, but we still had to make that stance. I think that stance was more political than anything else.
Yeah.
And after President Biden spoke about that, remember over the past few days, the market sold off dramatically because, oh my gosh, this could slow down the economy, could push us into recessions.
He spoke and it was, oof.
Yeah. And as soon as it was over, it was funny, talking with someone this morning, and I said, you know, is this the day that we're going to buy the news? Meaning that, okay, the news is out. It wasn't as bad as what we thought it was going to be. And all of a sudden the market's going to go up. And if I look over right now, yes, the NASDAQ's up 300 some points, Dow's up 400 some points. So again, it's the market always overdoes it. But the commodities, Michelle, oil, natural gas, gasoline, they're hitting consumers every day right now.
Absolutely.
I was in Florida over the weekend for a wedding, and there was gas prices were well over $4, nearing $5 in some locations.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see that across the board in many states. That affects the average consumer on a daily basis. But what I didn't see, Michelle, was any slowing down in spending. Every place we went was packed.
Right.
From restaurants to the beaches to hotels to airlines, the airport. Lines and lines of people. So it's going to continue unless there's a dramatic change. The demand has increased. So not only has Russia and Ukraine increased the demand for this oil and natural gas, shooting the gas prices up, the demand of consumers has taken it up higher also. So you got to remember that. A lot of it just isn't Russia and Ukraine. This is our demand. Sure. Our economy is booming right now.
Yeah. And I was just going to say gas prices at the pump were high. They've been going higher in the last year as well. Right. So this isn't just like an overnight thing.
No. And look at natural gas. Natural gas is at a multi-year high again. Right. And you're seeing that in your electric bills, here in Texas. That's what we're seeing. I will say my electric bill for the winter months is 50 to 60% higher than it was just a year ago.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Everyone's seeing it.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about other commodities. We've got aluminum, wheat. What is it? Palladium. Palladium.
That's
another one I keep hearing. Let's talk about that.
Nickel. Let's start with wheat.
These all come from Russia. A majority of the supply.
Yeah, big producing countries over there in Europe, Russia and Ukraine, both for wheat, aluminum, nickel, palladium. So let's look at this. You and I have talked before many times about this, that one of my concerns going forward was food.
Yeah.
Food prices.
Sure.
We need this every day. And let's go back to wheat. Wheat's at a 14-year high right now, Michelle. Russia and Ukraine combined export over 25% of the world's supply of wheat. That's why it's called the breadbasket.
Right.
They're concerned about potential drop in supplies from both of these countries. And how many people are out producing wheat right now?
Well, exactly. They're going to miss the harvest. They'll miss the
Yeah.
planting, the seeding. What's it called? When you plant, when you harvest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Planting the crops, harvesting, this, that, and the other. I mean, because that's not top of mind right now. Right. But I did see farmers. There was a news article the other night where they were showing farmers out doing their crops and continued like normal day. And
well, that's the
good
thing.
to see. That was good.
Life goes on.
Life always goes on. You're exactly right. Yeah. But then let's look at the other ones, Michelle. Aluminum, nearing all-time highs again. And think about this. Again, some of this comes back to, Michelle, remember our economy was shut down nearly 2 years.
Right, exactly.
You've had the supply disruptions, and I don't care what it was. You're just behind in stuff. But the demand continued. Housing, aluminum, aircraft. If I'm not mistaken, I remember seeing a report yesterday. Alcoa was at a all-time high. One of the biggest aluminum producers.
Sure.
Nickel. Let's talk about nickel. Nickel, and why I want to talk about it is Russia supplies 10% of all the world's supply of nickel. Nickel's main use, one of the biggest uses of nickel, Michelle, is in electric vehicle batteries.
Right.
Well, if we're pushing the green economy going to electric vehicles, I seen a report this morning, this increase in nickel prices has added $1,000 to every new electric vehicle just due to the surge in price. Michelle, it shot up to over $100,000 per net ton overnight last night, to the point that the futures were halted for the day for trading nickel. Yeah. I mean, just unbelievable. And then same thing with palladium. Palladium, Russia supplies 40% of the world's supply of palladium. Wow. So you had brought up a question earlier. What do you do? Do you buy at this time? No. Why would you buy at all-time high prices? That goes against normal.
Well, the reason I asked that is because the mind says, oh, it's going to continue going up.
It's going to continue. Sure.
That's what happens, right? And
always fear of missing out, FOMO.
Right. There's too many unknowns at this point.
I'm looking for an entry point myself, Michelle, to say if they opened up nickel and I could buy against nickel, saying it was going to drop 6 months from now, I would look into doing something like that. That's just me, though. That's me as an individual investor. I'm looking for that opportunity, but I am not buying at these levels. There's absolutely no way.
Okay. Well, there's a lot going on, and we've done a few videos already this week, just keeping you up to date. If you like the content of this channel, hit like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we are putting out real-time videos just to keep you updated on, best moves or just education, so that you can make the best decision for yourself.
And Michelle, you brought up a great point on this, because look, you're listening to the news every day, and they're showing a lot of negativity out there right now, and rightfully so. What we're really trying to do is stay focused on the principles behind this, and hopefully teach you something along the financial lines of what is actually happening, even though our money right now, thinking about money in this time, does not make sense. It still comes to top of mind, because fear of losing what you have today, but it's still not the main thing that we should be thinking about right now. But we're going to keep you up to date with what is actually happening on the ground with your finances. So
awesome. All right. Thanks, Brian, so much. Appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who stayed to the end. Again, like this video, we'd really appreciate it. Leave us some comments below if you have any or questions.
Right. And if any of you have bought recently any of these commodities, drop it down below. Tell us what you're buying right now, and let's have a conversation on it.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.